Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined once again by my good friend Emma Dolan. Emma, how you doing?
I'm very well, Danny. How are you?
I'm good. Now, the reason we're doing this, apart from I was just desperate to speak to you again, is that you've been picked out as one of our ones to keep an eye on in 2022. Not in a shady way, in a good way, that you're going to do great things, we hope, next year. So I guess let's start with how this year's gone. 3 fights in 3 months. How pleased are you with that?
Yeah, I'm buzzing with that. I mean, with some people out there still trying to make their debuts, to get 3 fights in 3 months, I'm over the moon.
Yeah, and not with a big promotional backing at the moment, obviously managed by Graham Everett out there in Norwich, but no TV promoter behind you managed to get you out 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, you look at the amount of sort of small hall shows that fell through. I mean, between Graham Everett and Mervyn Turner with Shamrock Promotions, to be able to get me out 3 times in such a short amount of time is really something to be, they deserve a pat on the back for that, really, because there's a lot of sort of big time shows. And I mean, a lot of MTK shows have fell through. So, yeah, fair play to them.
Take that, MTK. How do you feel about the progression? I mean, you started off, your debut only lasted, 53 seconds? But then you've gone the distance the next couple of times, and you fought someone with a 50-50 record last time out. So it seems like they're moving you.
Yeah, it's definitely progressions. You know, I wanted a bit of a step up in this next fight, and Graham felt I was ready. I feel like he's a good opponent for where we're at. I think it's the right sort of level of step up at the moment, sort of thing. But we're definitely moving in the right direction.
How do you compare yourself to some of the other prospects out there? Because I know Gemma Roy, who you fought last time out, previously in the fight before, met Tycee Gallagher. She shared a round. You didn't share any. You won all the rounds and you got a knockdown. Do you kind of look at that and think, it's one up on someone at a similar stage of their career?
I mean, different styles of fighters make different fights, don't they? It's very hard to say, like, oh, I've done a better job with her, and she's done a better job with, you can't say stuff like that. I'm just going to focus on myself and focus on what I'm doing. I was probably about 70% happy with my performance. I know I can do a lot better than that. But, like you say, I won every round. I got the knockdown, so that was good. I mean, Tycee boxed a different fight. She sort of boxed and moved, didn't she? So, it's... you can't compare fights like that, really, sort of thing. I don't tend to anyway, because different styles make different fights.
But do you keep an eye on the other prospects, regardless of how you approach the opponent? Are you looking at other people's progressions and how they're getting on, especially compared to how you did as amateurs?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a boxing anorak, so like I'll watch boxing all the time, and I keep a massive eye on every division, really. For my own, I like to keep on it for myself, because we're all going to be meeting each other at some point. The bantamweight division especially is buzzing domestically, so why not? But I like to watch boxing anyway, so I do keep an eye out anyway, sort of fights.
Is bantam where you see yourself when you're ready to challenge for championships? Because you've weighed in quite light the first couple of times. You could presumably make Superfly.
Yeah, I think I'm super flyweight. My last, all my fights, to be fair, I've weighed in about 52.8. My last one I weighed in 52.2, which I'm pretty sure is the super flyweight limit. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be a super flyweight. Might start doing that in the new year. If not, definitely when we're working towards a title, I'll be making that weight.
How long do you think it will be until you start saying your weight in pounds rather than kilos?
Never, Danny. Never.
I think you're right. The amateurs, like anyone who's been a top class amateur, is still kilos even now after 10 fights as a pro.
Yeah, no, it's mad, isn't it?
It just makes it trickier to know how close you are to the limit. Well, it makes it trickier for me. It probably doesn't for you. So is there a kind of thought in your mind that you can start at the lowest weight possible and then move up? Because obviously there's a bit more flexibility in the female side of the sport.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to sort of move up through the weights if possible, and obviously if I can make super flyweight, that's a good place to start, and see how successful I can be there. And then if I do well, sort of move up between bantam, super bantam. But because the margins are quite small and I'm quite tall for the weight anyway, 5'5", if there was an opportunity to rise, say at bantamweight or even super bantam, then I would take that with both hands as well.
And you said you're a boxing anorak. Who do you kind of look up to, either from the past or current fighters?
Uh, I love Tommy Hearns. Like, I love that era. You know, Hearns, Hagler, Duran, Leonard. I think they're all amazing fighters, and they're all so different. You can pick up different things from each sort of one. You know, but I like Morales, Pereira. Today, I really like Terence Crawford and Josh Taylor. You know, they're fantastic fighters. So, yeah.
Who are you going to back when that showdown comes to fruition?
It's a hard one, isn't it? Like, my head says Crawford all day long, but my heart says Josh Taylor because I think he's fantastic. I watched his progression and he's done so well, but probably Crawford job that.
And next year, 2022, big year for you. Where would you like to be by the end of the year?
Definitely by the end of the year, I'd like to be fighting for some kind of title, whether that be a Commonwealth or a European. You know, if I keep moving at the rate I'm going, I mean, I've had 3 fights in 3 months. I'm sure that will probably spread out a little bit over next year, you know. But say I'm 5, 6 fights deep, I would like to be fighting for some kind of title.
And picked up potentially by one of the TV promoters?
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, that helped my career. And to be honest, like, I'm an exciting fighter. You know, I'm not a, you know, no offense, there's no problem with it, but I'm not just going there, win on points, you know, boring kind of fighter, jab and move. Like, I am an exciting fighter and exciting to watch kind of fighter. So, you know, it would be really, really good to be picked up by a TV promoter.
Do you think you've been hindered to an extent by the massive kind of influx of female pros in the last couple of years? Because in the past, any female fighter with talent would be snapped up pretty quick, but now there's so many, promoters can pick and choose a little bit more, and maybe it's oversaturated.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of women in the, you know, who's turned over sort of thing now. But they always say cream rises to the top, isn't it? So if I keep putting in good performances, it should filter through and I should get noticed, hopefully.
Now, before I let you go, obviously we did this last time, but a lot of people watch this who maybe didn't watch the first one for whatever reason, idiots.
Right.
Just tell them how they can find you on the different social media platforms.
So on Instagram, it's Emma_Dolan21, and that's the same on Twitter as well.
Great stuff. Really appreciate your time. And yeah, don't make me look bad. We picked you as one to keep an eye on. So do great things. Don't lose. We picked 10 last year, only 1 lost. So
Well, not too bad then.
no, well, I think maybe 1 or 2 were inactive for the whole year as well, but I'm going to claim it still.
Yeah. Nice one.
So don't be the one.
All right, don't worry.
All right, great stuff. Speak to you soon. Take care.